And I have never been one to back away from excess. The next thing you know, you're running around the house stroking the furry walls. Don't get me started on the Persians. I think that the only way to truly enjoy the French is to really, really lower your expectations. I'm not a fan of hair. My wife is a sexual dynamo. Have you ever seen the hairy woman down at the Tilt-A-Whirl? She's got big, big horns, hair on the face, ugly as sin, but a great cook. I don't like animals. So I said to the two guys out of nowhere, I don't even know why I thought this. The child was only born as a head. It's actually a real problem that some of these girls have these enormous painful breasts. And then the young girl took down the top of her shirt to show, the enlarged breasts. I'm not really very fond of, deep sea sponges either. I'm not a fan of the color gray. Jesus Christ, look at the size of those fucking tits.
Max!
Lisa!
Russ?
Suck! So he takes his sucker and he's standing over there and he moves over to the middle of the wound. He puts the sucker in the wound and I headbutt this guy right in the back of the head. I remember one time all the nurses on the 3rd floor at the Manhattan VA decided for 1 week. They had beautiful nurses' uniforms, the whole thing. None of them wore underwear. He goes back, he's groggy. There's no question he's groggy. And let me tell you something, it's good and bad. These two assholes are laughing to the point the tears are just pouring down their face. There were some women who suffered from perineal fallout, which is a real and ugly problem to deal with. So this guy's wobbly, he's 95 years old. I just cracked him in the skull and he's holding a sucker in his hand. By the way, the perineum is the area that encompasses both the vagina, the anus, and the taint. And I turned to the two guys again and I said, hey, want to see me hit him again? These two assholes had the balls to say, no, don't hit him again. Don't hit him again. So anything that drops out of that area is called perineal fallout. But suck! The guy goes up to the top, he puts the sucker in, and bam, I crack him again. He leans back, and I can see right now his eyes are glassy. He says, would you stop hitting me in the head? We're in the emergency room one night, and I was on the general surgical rotations. A man about 68, 69 years old, I can't remember, came in complaining of abdominal pain for like 6 or 7 days. So he comes in, we examine the guy, his stomach is hard as a rock. So we think he's got an acute abdomen, which means that we have to operate, we don't know what's going on. Send him over for an x-ray, take a look at the x-ray, and he has, without the lid on it, an entire mason jar shoved up his ass. Allowed him to have an erection for hours. I've seen Barbies, I've seen batteries, and although it's humorous to a degree, at least this is something that you can fix without having to do surgery. If it's not too far up the rectum, you can just dig around and get that thing out of there. And then while he would be making love to women, he would sweat profusely. But a mason jar, I don't know if you know what a mason jar looks like, but a mason jar is like taking both your fists, this big, and then ramming it up your ass. And he would pin their arms down and drip sweat into their eyes. He would move around the top of them, trying to drip the sweat into their eyes. So I said to the man, you got a mason jar up your ass. His response to me was, straight face, well, how did it get there? I said, well, you had to put it there. He said, well, I don't remember putting it there. I said, I don't know how you couldn't remember being in there, because in order to get it in, you would have to have 4 people holding your arms and limbs down, while the 5th essentially just jammed this in your ass. You've got your arms pinned. You're looking up, and you see some asshole on acid trying to drip sweat into your eyes. It's not a pleasant experience. So he came back to me and said, well, perhaps I sat on it. Well, that could have happened too. But you probably still should have known that you did it. It was essentially perspiration waterboarding. So we had to take this guy up to the operating room, take out this huge section of colon, because there was this enormous mason jar stuck up this man's ass. What you couldn't appreciate from the x-ray was that the mason jar was filled to the brim with strawberry preserves. True story. And I am Dr. 420.